Two murder cases that occurred in the 1920s gave rise to a lot of classic literature and movies. They were the murder of Albert Snyder by his wife, Ruth Snyder, and her boyfriend, Judd Gray, her married boyfriend, Judd Gray, and the murder of 14-year-old Bobby Franks by college boys Nathan Leopold and Robert Loeb. Okay, now what I'd like to talk about in this video is how both cases were affected and distorted by ethnicity, which of course reflects the fact that America is to a large extent a nation of immigrants and not really a melting pot as much as it is a salad bowl. Okay, let's start with the Albert Snyder case. Ruth Snyder grew up very self-conscious because her parents had immigrated, one of them from Sweden, the other one from Norway. I believe it was her mother who was from Sweden, her father from Norway, and they both spoke English with very thick accents. She was always very self-conscious about this. Okay, when Albert Snyder proposed to her, she would agree to marry him, but only on a condition. And that condition was that he anglicized his last name from Schneider to Snyder. The reason was because it was right after World War I, and she didn't want a name that sounded German, right after America had fought Germany in World War I. Okay, now, there really wasn't much about, okay, now when James M. Cain wrote his novels inspired by this case, he really didn't do much with ethnicity and double indemnity. Basically, everybody's Anglo-Saxon, except for a minor character named Zachetti. Okay, however, in The Postman Always Rings Twice, he has the anti-heroine married to Nick Papadakis, who is an immigrant from Greece. And he makes the heroine feel like she's not quite right, even though Greece is part of Europe. Okay, and the heroine is described as having black hair and feeling self-conscious because some people mistake her for being a Mexican American. But she's very insistent that she is white. Okay. And throughout the novel, The Postman Always Rings Twice, Nick Papadakis is referred to as the Greek. You know, even the prosecuting attorney refers to him as the Greek. His individuality seems to be subsumed by his ethnicity. And that actually does reflect the fact that there was, when the book was written in 1930s, a lot of tension between Western and Northern European white people in America and Southern and Eastern European white people in America. Okay. And when they took The Postman Always Rings Twice and they made it into a film with John Garfield, Lana Turner, and Cecil Kellaway, Of course, nobody's Greek. Everybody's got an anglicized name. Everybody. The husband's name is Smith, which was Cora Papadakis's maiden name. Okay. Now, when they did the Jack Nicholson, Jessica Lange version, they restored the ethnicity of Nick Papadakis. He's Greek. But, of course, Jessica Lange has blonde hair, and she's not self-conscious and afraid that people might mistake her for a Mexican American.